Right now we have Grow Your Business, and it's a feature that is sponsored by the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. Oh, by the way, they are also represented here at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security Roadshow here at the Gulf View Hotel. Small, micro, medium-sized enterprises, they are the engines of our growth and of our democracy. Believe it or not, the engines, the small business. I have here, Robert Hall, and he's a fashion designer at the Jbdc, and also Charmaine Brown, and she is a fashion designer, and she's the owner of Jessica Fashions. So we're talking about the Jbdc Hunts North Coast Jadire Fashion Beyond. And so good day, how are you?
Good morning, Dr. Taylor. Good to be on.
Yes.
Good morning,
Talk to
Dr.
me.
Taylor. Good to be on.
Yeah, you all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
All right. So, Robert.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're a fashion designer, but you're a full-time employee, of course, of the JBDC. That's your remit, right? Talk to me about what you do.
Let me better contextualize that, because I'm not too sure that the title probably gives just a sense of what we really do.
All right,
fashion
please.
Design fashion design is one of my core skills. However, really and truly fits within the context of product development that we offer to Jamaica, for persons who are actually in the small, micro, medium industries. If you're familiar with JBDC, we actually have two locations in terms of in the Kingston area, the Kingston corporate area, basically, where we actually have our corporate offices on Camp Road, and then we actually have our technical division, the IRC incubator on Marcus Garvey Drive, where that is really almost like the action space where we're literally doing a lot of the hands-on work with the client to really assist them with what. So all the titles these days is saying that more of my specialization is in fashion. However, I do, go across the board with a number of different areas.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so you're putting the thing into context now. I get it. All right. So you have this interesting initiative. So tell us more about that now, and how Miss Brown now has been reached in all of this, and where does she stand?
Precisely. So of course, one of the core foundations that we stand on in terms of JBDC is that we literally believe that the raw material that we have as a people in terms of the thing that we naturally move towards, and one of those is our natural creativity, are the spaces that we ought to be looking at in terms of really enlivening the economy and have persons basically building businesses around these things. Of course, business development is the core mandate of what we do, but obviously you don't just want to be doing it in a vacuum, just chasing after an arbitrary opportunity. So we know creativity is something that we naturally do. Fashion, textiles, craft is definitely an area that we traditionally actually have some kind of footprint in that we're known for, and that's something that we from the inception of JBDC in 01. That's something that we have actually been doing work in. So as a part of that, we often have as a part of in terms of our bilateral relationships with different countries, we often basically have a receipt of skills. Person that come in, we've done work with the Japanese persons, Japanese embassy that brought us, banana paper in the early days, and with the Nigerian High Commission, yes, we basically have got now at this infusion of Jadire. Well, what is not Jadire, but initially it was Adire, basically their approach to pretty much printing fabric in from their historical context, etc. So that infusion, we actually it started in 2017, and out of that we've been able to be train over 200 people, over 5 different community groups, and different individuals from different settings have actually benefited from this. So Miss Brown is actually just one of the persons who was a part of a training cohort, and out of that she's basically been able to energize her business and really be able to, bring new, fresh, more Jamaican products with more of that Jamaican standpoint.
Yeah. I like the syncretic Jadire, by the way, because, I make no apologies at all for the fact that we are still African. Yes, we have been
Absolutely.
infused, etc. But guess what? It's a dialectic. So we are Africans. We came here, but in the same way we give them back Afrobeat, we give them back reggae, we give them back Rasta, we give them
Right.
back all of that too. So yeah, so we take the Bati, but we also had this. I said this on an earlier program that we also had our own. Some of our own traditions that we developed here in Batik, and there were some experts over the years. So it makes sense that we have this thing that is both Nigerian and local. So Charmaine, talk to me. So how did you know about this? How did you get contacted, or how did you make first contact?
Okay, sir. Well, I know about it. Jbdc always have training, so we would normally get an email or a contact to let us know that there is an upcoming training coming up, and if we are interested in it, to go ahead and register and come in and do it.
Yes.
And,
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, please.
and so that's how I end up becoming a part of the Jadire program, which was a very interesting program because you end up, you learn how to basically build a material. For instance, having a piece of white, and you can take it and turn it in any design that you want.
Yes.
To put prints on it as you want and all of that.
So a quick question. So did you have any of these skills before? Did you know about it, or you just like the idea and you decided that you want to start something new?
So, no, I didn't have any of the skills of the whole African print background design before. I used to sew before. I already know about some thing about tie and dye and stuff, but the whole printing part, I had no idea about it before. So that was when I learned that part of the business.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's the kind of assistance that you got, though?
Well, we got some training. We got introduced to it. We get they teach us how to make our patterns, to use a sponge to cut the design in the sponge, the design that you want in the sponge, in the sponge, and then they also show us how to move it from the sponge to the material, which we do a process where we have to use the waxing process. So we have the wax, like for instance, we have a pot, and we put some wax in it to be melted, and when it reaches to a certain heat, we then dip that sponge in the hot wax, and then we move it to the fabric, and then whatever design we put on that sponge, it would have print out on the fabric.
Okay, so the sponge don't melt in the hot wax?
No, no. You're not supposed to do it hot enough that the sponge to melt.
Okay, all right. And then, and then you print it, you that's interesting how you do that.
You print it on the fabric, then you dye that fabric in whatever color you want it to be. And after you do that, then we go back and we do a boiling out process in which we have to use get a big pot and we put it on the fire. We do a boiling process in which we boil some water. We put that fabric that we have done in that water and let it boil for a while to get out the wax, which we then put it back in cold to wash back that wax out of the material, and then the print would have remained on the material, but you take back out the wax.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. I get that. All right. So you had to spend money in order to get this training, or what?
Yes, we made. We spend money, but it's more.
No, man. I mean, okay. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
It's like a contribution.
So anyway,
because I think we spend like $5,000, and we get at that time we get the material to work with there. And then after that, you can branch off and do your own thing.
Gotcha. Going back to you now, Robert, because you have an overall responsibility for this. So, this is a one-person experience, but I know it applies to everybody else. How can somebody like me, because I'm interested in those kinds of things, how can somebody like me get into that?
So as Charmaine had pointed out, usually what will happen is that you get into our network, whether whether you come to us for services, or if you also just access our social media are our most updated spaces where you can really keep abreast of what's going on. So usually what will happen is that when we actually have new initiatives or we have new trainings, etc., what will happen is that we're going to actually spread the word on our social media or basically direct contacting SN. And of course, usually, if you're actually a part of the space in terms of like you've come to us for services before, then if we know that we're having something in fashion, then usually we'd actually send out some kind of this to kind of make sure you know that okay, this is in the space. Are you interested in this something? Which is
time leaving. Yes, time leaving me quickly. How am I find you? JBDC. Yes.
You can find us on the social media handles at jbdc.net along with our website. So basically, touch base with us there. JBDC.net.
Yes.
That's all. Look for JBDC on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, etc., and you can find it.
Bless you. Thank you so much, Robert Hall from JBDC and Charmaine Brown, who's a designer and owner of Jessica Fashions. We just did Grow Your Business. Messages for you now. We'll continue in a few.